Today is Sunday. It's been a while since I did any type of photography, so I'm really in love with downtown Calgary, and I was always looking for a spot where I can take a picture from some kind of an elevation so that the mountains to the west are in the frame. And that's not easy to do, but thankfully, my job as a delivery driver takes me all over the place. And I always keep my eyes open, for that special spot. And guess what? I found it. I was doing I think it was Uber actually. Yeah, because I drive a lot, right? So first for work, and then evenings and weekends I do Uber or Lyft. Yeah, so I brought a customer somewhere here, and when I was getting out, I saw this area here. So you can park here, and you're at the elevation, and downtown is over there. And the sky was clear because it was still the day. Now I came before sunrise. So the plan was, I packed my gear, I packed my tripod. So east is behind me, mountains are to the west, so it should have been, in theory, a perfect time and place to take a picture of the downtown Calgary with the mountains in the background and sun illuminating the buildings. Except I overlooked one little detail, that it's snowing. And when I woke up, I checked the forecast, and it says cloudy. And so I don't know what I'm going to see, but I'm going to experiment with some, long exposures. Because, I see, what is it now? 7:16. So we have 40 minutes till sunrise. And I already see that the buildings become more and more visible. So maybe the snow, this weather will improve. But yeah, so I just drove 20 kilometers from my home to this special spot, and I'm not sure that I'll get good results. But the plan is to use 100 ISO. And aperture does not matter because it's so far. But I don't know, 2.8 f4, and then shutter speed as long as it takes for the exposure triangle to click. And I have a very nice sturdy tripod that I rarely use because it's big and heavy. But now it's in the back of my beast. And I was driving on the ring road, and I was watching I was complaining about this, that it's hard to find instant fuel economy, whereas on my Jeep Compass, the other car, it's like a flip of a button and you can see the other screen, and one of the pieces of information you see there, it's your instant fuel economy, which is helpful, just because I want to see what kind of speed is great for that, right? And so I found this. So now top left corner of my screen, by default, instead of a range till empty, I change it to instant gas economy, which is beautiful. And so I was driving, I set my speed to 92 kilometers an hour, which I often cruised at when I was a trucker in a semi-truck. And 92 kilometers an hour on a straight road, I was getting 7-8 liters per 100 kilometers, pretty much close to 30 miles a gallon, But then average is still 15 liters per 100 kilometers. That's not good. But so it has MDS, so it should be able to cut off 4 cylinders when it does not need them, when you are just cruising at a slow speed. But anyway, yeah, and you see in my windshield, so It's still snowing. I don't think so. I think it was just flying from the road, because the road was it was very, when I was driving here, it was very hard to see, you know, the lines between lanes, because there was snow blowing all over the place. And I'm like, okay, am I in lane 3 from the left or lane 2? Like, what the heck, you know? So I cannot wait till the sunrise. And then straight down here, I saw a Denny's restaurant. So I might go, today's Sunday, so I might go for some early breakfast, because this is a very good area for Uber and Lyft, but today's Sunday, it's probably not going to be busy, but I want to try it instead of driving back empty, so I can maybe, you know, compensate my fuel expense. So wait, so what is downtown? Is it this way or is it this way? Huh. Yeah, no, it is snowing. Check this out. Like, I just cleaned up the windshield, right? 2 seconds ago. And you see it has this. It has something there. So, anyway, we'll just wait till it gets lighter, closer to sunrise, and see if I can take some pictures. Yeah, I really should have looked at the forecast more closely. Cloudy, snowing. That's not good for landscape photography. And the snow keep blowing. I thought it was coming from the side, so I thought if I put the tripod, you know, that way towards the downtown, I can stand to the side to protect the lens from the snow. But see, the sides of the car are clean, so the snow is from the from this way. So basically, not my lucky day. So if I put the you know, tripod with the camera facing that way, the lens will be just covered in this stuff. And let me show you this beautiful, so this is the spot, right? And check this out. This is exactly what I've been looking for, but now that I know the spot, I'm gonna come back. So that Deerfoot Trail, Highway 2, that's south, that's north, so airport is there. This is great. You see, like, we have these hills all of a sudden from nowhere. So there's some tall buildings over there, but I'm pretty sure that's the downtown. And I can hardly see the buildings now, because it's all this actually. Wait, so I'm looking at the grass. It's actually moving this way. Well, I'll still attempt a couple of shots when the buildings become more visible. They're right there. There's like a big outline. Beautiful downtown Calgary, but no sunrise. I mean, no sunlight. But it is getting, look, like, yeah, I feel it on my face. Yeah, the snow is coming from this way. Okay, so if I put the tripod this way and I stand like this to protect the camera, maybe I should be able to get a couple of shots. And I brought 2 lenses. Hey there. I brought 2 lenses, 50 and 85. And I tried from the car to see which one would work. And 50, it's too short. You know. So I switched to my Z6 II with 85mm. And then later, I just checked the Uber app. And turns out this area now is super busy, you know. So you can make a couple of bucks, so why not? I switched my app to Durango. So this can qualify as a XL because it has 7 seats. But yeah, I'll just wait. What's the time now? 7:40, so 22:08, and the sunrise is at 8. So I'll just wait till I can see the buildings. Now it's just very vague shape, but yeah. So the expedition is this expedition is a fiasco. But I did get up at 6 o'clock today, even though it's Sunday. But I worked yesterday at my main job, and so yeah. So if I do get some pictures, I'll attach them at the end of this blockbuster. Okay. Well, didn't wait long at all. I started Uber. Maybe 5 minutes later, they gave me a guy like 2 kilometers from that spot, where I was trying to do photography. And it was with Lyft, and he was going to the airport. And so I ended up here, stopped by the Shell. They have a promotion there. Every size coffee is $1. And it's beans to cup. Very great, taste. And there should be lots of flights coming in the next hour and a half. And so I went to this waiting lot. They say long wait, 30 minutes plus. But on Lyft, there's like 6 or 10 drivers ahead of me, and here there's like 30 drivers ahead of me for Uber. But this is the best spot now. So let's see how long it's gonna take. If it takes too long, I'm gonna leave and go to regular area, because when you sit here, they're not giving you any rides from outside of the airport. So you're stuck only with rides originating from the airport, not the neighboring areas. And I still remember for the first like 2-3 months, nobody told me about this, that you have to be in this special waiting lot to receive orders from the airport. So I was sitting at that Shell station where I got the coffee, and I was wondering why nothing is happening. And a couple of times actually I got rides from the nearby hotels. So I went to a hotel and I brought a lady back to the airport, and there's nothing out of the airport. And then I realized, I saw on the map it says waiting lot. And actually Uber tells you head over to waiting lot. But Lyft said nothing, and so finally after like 3 months I figured out that you have to be in this particular spot to receive orders, to pick up passengers at the airport. In case you guys are wondering, so I see one blue car, and then there's a white car near the fence, but then there's an SUV, a Jeep, SUV, okay, a Tesla, SUV, minivan. Mostly what I see is SUVs. That's what most people use in winter. And I've been here, I don't know, 20 minutes. I'm gonna wait 10 more minutes and then I'm gone. This is just a waste of time, this waiting lot at the airport. Now the big sign says Croissant Mills. So just when I was about to leave the airport waiting lot, there was a match offer, kind of like something that Uber does and Lyft does it as well. Basically they send out an offer to all drivers, not just me, but even though I was still like, there's 20 cars ahead of me, but they send it to everybody. And I learned that you don't have time to read it, like where it's going, how much it pays, because you just want to get out of there instead of wasting like 2 hours there, right? So as soon as I saw that, like it gives you like an alarm beep, and then as soon as I saw match, boom, right away I clicked it, and it says match in progress. And I thought I lost it, but no, I got it. And there was a guy in arrivals, and I'm sitting, and he says, "Are you coming?" Like basically, I just accepted the offer, and the guy is already, "Are you coming?" So yeah, I'm on my way. Just to confirm, are you at arrivals? He says yes, because sometimes people don't know, like the app says go to departures, the guy's in arrivals, or vice versa. This guy says no, arrivals.12. And I know that's like international, so I'm thinking, okay, American, so might get a tip, I show up there, a huge guy stands there with just one backpack, no luggage, and he says, we're going to Cross-Iron Mills. He says, do you know where the bus stops for Edmonton? I said, what's the name of the company? He says, E-Bus. I said, I have no idea. I said, it's a huge shopping center, because he just put Cross-Iron Mills, you know, like the main entrance, but he does not know where the bus stops. I said, it's like 10 square kilometers, you know, you have to tell me. I said, I can take you to where I think it would stop, because, and this is it, like that's H&M, Tommy Hilfiger, or Hilfiger, I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's where buses usually stop here, right next to that container, and that exit entrance number 2. And so the guy called the bus company, and they said, yeah, go to entrance number 2. I said, perfect, that's where I drop off. I told him once I had a passenger, same as him, she was also trying to catch a bus going to Edmonton. And I said, are you going to Edmonton? He says, yeah. And so they confirmed number 2, and we came, and there's a bus standing here. And I parked here on the lot, just waiting for my next victim. But I see he talked to the driver, and then and I see on the bus it says Edmonton via Red Deer. But then he left for some reason, and he went inside the mall. So maybe it's the wrong bus, but he told me it says 9:30. So we barely made it. We made it like, I dropped him off at 9:25. And I said, hey, you're cutting it close. And he says, I know, right? So maybe there must be another bus, but anyway. So now this is busy spot. So I started Uber. I have Uber, I have DoorDash, I have Lyft. So whoever first gives me an order, we're gonna take it and put the other 2 apps on hold. But looks like, you know, usually Sunday is dead. This Sunday looks like it's busy. So I made $22 on Lyft, where I took that guy to the airport from Southeast. And this ride from the airport to Cross-Iron Mills paid $12. So I only did 2 rides, and I'm already at $34, which is good. So at least I covered my gas expense by going to that fiasco photo shoot. But yeah, it's still snowing, it's still cloudy, there's no sun. So not a good time for photography. But I do have my camera in case I see some kind of an interesting street photography, you know, scene where I can take a picture. So I got my camera in the bag next to me here. You see, I have two cameras. That's my ZF, and that's Z6 II with 85mm. This is 50, but that would be good for street photography. So it's 11 o'clock now, and I'm back in the same Cross-Iron Mills area, except now I'm next to New Horizon Mall, and Cross-Iron Mills is over there. So basically I was sitting there was nothing when I dropped that guy at the bus, right? I went inside, used the washroom, and just drove back to Country Hills Boulevard, and thought maybe, you know, I could pick up some restaurant order there. Sat there 10-15 minutes, nothing. Oh, Uber offered me to deliver booze because I am licensed to deliver alcohol. I had to take a course online. It's called Pro Serve. Like in Alberta, by law, you're required to take that course if you want to be a waiter, a bartender, or if you deliver alcohol, you must take course. Basically, it's about, the most important thing is they teach you not to sell to people that appear to be drunk, not to overserve, you know. But basically, yeah, technically, I can work at a bar. Like in the summer, we have lots of kind of like summer jobs, you know. I can be a waiter, I can work at a bar with this. But anyway, so they offered me, so I'm sitting there, Country Hills and the Deerfoot Trail, Highway 2. And they offered me to drive 8 kilometers east, pick up some booze, because I see it's a Jazz Liquor or something, like a name of a liquor store, and then drive 2 kilometers, so a total of 10 kilometers or 6.5 miles. And they're offering me $3 and I think it was 25 cents. So, okay. it was very tempting, but it was very hard for me to resist the temptation, to deliver booze to some drunken customer who doesn't even want a tip, because I know if there's such a low amount, there's no tip. And if you want me to deliver you booze on a Sunday morning, yeah, it was like 10 o'clock at 10:20, 20 after 10, somebody's offering booze. I guess somebody's so drunk they cannot drive themselves to the liquor store, so they have to call Uber. And basically I canceled, and then 5 minutes later, the same order, because I see it's the same, shows me the same 8 kilometers east and then 2 kilometers south to the destination there. So now it's $4.50. So Uber, either the customer decided to add a tip or Uber decided to increase the rate. But I said, forget it. And so I just drove back home thinking, I'm going to call it a day. And also I remember that tomorrow I have an appointment at the Chrysler dealer for 7 o'clock. So I have to drop off my Jeep Compass, because that leak disappeared because I did see some drips, in the snow right under, kind of like this area, like where the windshield wiper is, but underneath. So passenger side of the engine near the wheel. And I think it was coolant. It didn't look like oil because it was not black, I think it's coolant. It's like I had the same on my Kenworth, like on my big truck. Sometimes a clamp gets loose because of the constant, temperature changes here. Like one day it's minus 28, another day it's minus 10, then it's plus 3, then it's 0. It's very hard on equipment, But now I don't see, I keep checking every morning. So I parked the Jeep, right? I keep checking every morning, under the car on the snow, because it's really easy now to spot any leak, because, there's like pristine white snow under the Jeep, right? And it's dry, but I do see a frozen drop, like where my, in Russian, fartuk, it's kind of like a plastic cover underneath there. I do see a frozen drop, drop is just sitting there. And the check engine light is still on. I drove it yesterday to a grocery store. And so, yeah, so basically the plan is today is Sunday. So when I get home, I'm going to jump into the Jeep, drive it to the Chrysler, park it there, lock it, drop the key in the envelope, and they have a special, mailbox there, right? So you just drop that envelope with the key inside, and you write on the envelope like your mileage, what your problem is. But I booked the appointment online a few days ago, so I told them that there's a leak in the engine bay and the check engine light is on. And that's it. And then I guess I'll have to call either Uber or Lyft, because from there it's about 5 kilometers, like in this kind of weather. You don't want to be walking. And so yeah, get home. So basically, and so I started driving east towards my area, Skyview Ranch, thinking that's it, everything is slow. Like one indicator I learned is that when Uber starts offering me deliveries, it means that there's a really slow with taxi work, But I look on the map, it shows $3 signs, like it's good earning potential, like, medium, not $1 sign, which is poor, but 3, like the only larger earning potential is $4 sign. So 3, it should be good, but again, nothing. And so I go home, and of course, по закону подлости, as we say in Russian, Murphy's Law, as they say in English, when I'm like 400 meters away from my home, and I'm thinking, yeah, that's it, so I'm gonna watch some movie, cook some food, Uber gives me a ride 2 minutes away from my location. So I click on it, go pick up some girl, pretty young girl, and of course I have no idea where she's going. But when I pick her up, Uber says New Horizon Mall. And I'm guessing she works here. So 11 o'clock, like, this is kind of like the worst spot you can be at waiting for a guest or a ride, right? Because 11 o'clock, like, all the stores only open at like 10. Here I think probably the same, 10. So no people are leaving, you know, everybody's coming here, right, for the opening. And when I was there earlier, the entire parking lot was unusually empty. Normally in that area it's impossible to find parking, you know. It's a huge area, but it fills up really because it's a very popular shopping center, because there's lots to see there, lots of restaurants, a movie theater, there's Bass Pro Shop where you can buy a gun, buy some bullets, you know. So it's a cool place, I like it. So Cross Iron Mills, there's a big sign over there. And we are right next to Highway 2 or Deerfoot Trail, and that's north. So if you drive 1 hour there, you're gonna hit Red Deer. If you drive 3 hours, you're gonna hit Edmonton, or 3.5 hours, the capital of Alberta. And so yeah, I ended up back in the same freaking area, and I started Lyft, I started Uber, nothing. And so now I just turned on my ride filters, and I'm asking Lyft to give me people that go towards my area, and I did the same on Uber. And so now Uber is navigating me towards my home, but I said I want to arrive before 12. And so now it's 11:10, which gives Uber 50 minutes. So if there's somebody going like in this area, between this area and my area, they're gonna give me the ride, but I'm heading home. I thought it would be busy. No, it's just a waste of time. So I want to play my accordion, I want to watch some movies, I probably want to order a takeout. It's been a while since I had that pho Vietnamese noodle soup. Like, this is the perfect weather for for a hot spicy noodle soup with some extra beef. And by the way, that place in my area where I go, there's a Vietnamese restaurant there. They already know me, so I show up, the guy says, number 32. And that's spicy pho soup. That's how it's pronounced, P-H-O, pho. So spicy noodle soup, I said, yeah, extra beef, yes. And that's it. So they give you everything, and I said, I want chopsticks, okay? So, okay, so I'm gonna head home. Yeah, and you see, like, here it's also empty, but now it's filling up. So yeah, people are only now coming to this area. Oh, there's a nice looking Tahoe there, that white car. So yeah, nobody's leaving. This is a stupid area to be in, you know. It's kind of like a one-way trip. But how much did it pay? So it was like 8 kilometers. I think I made maybe $9 coming here. But still, you know, like, this car, this Durango, is not good on gas, right? But still, it only cost me about 25 cents Canadian per liter in gas. So if I'm paid $1 per kilometer, I'm making money. So I'm back at home. And I had an interesting experience with a Lyft guy. So I drop off my Jeep at the Chrysler dealer, and as I'm filling out, you know, the envelope for the service department, I ordered this Vietnamese noodle soup, and I figured, okay, I'll be there in 15 minutes, and then I got everything done with the envelope, ready to put my key in. But of course, before I do that, I have to get out of the Jeep and lock the doors and then put the key in. And then I called Uber, you know, for a ride back home, and Uber was asking too many questions, you know, update your payment method. So I closed the app and I opened Lyft, and the ride back home was a couple of bucks cheaper, and it worked right away. Boom, I booked a ride, and it says your driver is 5 minutes away. Okay, so I waited till the guy was 2 minutes away,
I got out of my Jeep, I locked the doors, put the key in the envelope, sealed it, and put it in the slot. And then the guy showed up. It was some Indian guy in a Toyota SUV. And when he was doing a U-turn, I showed him my blue Jeep Compass, and I said, "Hey, I do Uber as well." I said, "I do Uber and Lyft as well." And he says, "Oh, you do Lyft only?" I said, No, look at the stickers on my front windshield." I said, "I do both Uber and Lyft." I said, "Just my Jeep had some leaks, and now it has this check engine light, and so I had to drop it off, but that's why I need you." And so this guy was so interested, to meet another poor Lyft/Uber driver. So we started talking, exchanging some ideas. So what this guy told me is that he's a recent immigrant to Canada, pretty typical. He has 2 vehicles, he has 2 SUVs, and he's paying over $600 a month in insurance, which is probably, 30% more than what I pay. But he's a recent immigrant. And I said, "Hey, I'm a class 1 driver. I have a very long, history of experience." And looking at him, I said, "I can see that I'm older than you." So anyway, so my premiums are like $200 cheaper, And so he started asking me questions about, okay, he says, "I'm a new immigrant," like the guy was really humble and asking for tips. For like advice, He says, "I'm a new immigrant, and like, how can I make money? Can you help me?" Well, I said, "I see on my screen, it's asking me to give you a tip. It's either $2 or $3 or $5. I said, "I'll give you $2. Okay?" But then I told him the same thing. I said, "Yeah, I just like you, I have two vehicles. But I said, I bought the second one to rent it out." And so this guy was really interested in this, and he's like, "Can you make money with that?" I said, "I think so." So I told him about the system, how it works, how you get like 75% of the daily rent, and how you fill it up once, but then the customer has to return it fully fueled. So basically it's free fuel, But I told him, I said, "Yeah, in winter it's very slow because there's too many cars, there's too many people here in Calgary that want to make money with this. But still, I had 2 customers, and if I had winter tires, I would have had 2 more. So, slowly it's, building up. And of course, people, when they check your vehicle, your vehicle's listing, they want to see a lot of bookings, right? Like, then this guy can be trusted. And of course, they want to see your rating, right? And so the more trips people book with you, the better, right? It's better for more business. And so I really want to install snow tires. And the place where I work, they do offer a program for employees to get discounted tires. Thank you, guys. And the best part is that they can do like installment payments. Basically, you get brand new tires, and they break them into 2 to 4 payments, or 2 to 4 paydays. And they said, depending on the driver, they said for bad guys we do 2 payments, for good guys like you. And I'm like, okay. He says we can do 4. And I've been doing research about this, about these winter tires, because the thing is, people that come to Calgary, let's say Americans or people from other countries, and they rent a vehicle, quite often they go to mountain resorts that are located on the other side of the BC/AB border. And British Columbia, or BC, has a legal requirement In winter, you must have snowflake or M&S tires. So your tires must either show a snowflake, snow tires, or M&S, mud and snow. And one guy left an interesting comment on my channel. He said he lives in BC and he uses all season tires, but they do have that M&S logo. So he says it's perfectly fine. And so that's what I want to do. I don't want to change tires, every like 5 months. What I want to do is I want to sell these and I want to get tires that are good for year-long usage, but also have that snowflake, emblem. And turns out I can get what they call all-weather tires. Like the ones I have now are all season, which basically means they are 3 season only. So they're not good for winter, even though me personally had no issues driving in deep snow. But, people come here from, I don't know, France, Australia, England. They don't know how to drive, so they want winter tires. And so what I want to do is, Monday when I go back to work, I'm going to talk to my boss who suggested that I get, winter tires, and I'll talk to him about all-weather tires and set up a deal where they deduct 25% from each pay, so 4 pays, and then I can mount these all-weather tires on my existing rims, and then I can sell these tires. And actually, the tire I have now is called Pirelli Scorpion Verde all season, and they go brand new. They go for about $235 Canadian a tire, and that's like the cheapest price I found. And so I could probably sell them for at least like, I don't know, $100-$150, So let's say these all-weather tires, if I can find a deal, sorry, let's say $200 a tire, so $800, and then I can sell these for $400. That means that it'll only cost me $400 for new tires. But again, I already lost 2 customers because they booked first. It's kind of like shoot, ask questions later. So these guys book and then they start asking questions. So both of these guys that I lost, they book and then they start asking questions. Oh, do you have winter tires? Like, why didn't you look at the listing? It shows you all the info. No, I don't have all winter tires. I mean, winter tires, I have all season tires. And so that's how they both cancel, right? And so, yeah, I think in my case, all weather tires are the best solution, because if I buy just winter tires, I will have to keep these ones and also buy rims, and then you have to buy those pressure sensors, which is another expense. Whereas if I just get all weather tires and I get rid of these ones and I put all weather on with the sensors, that's it. That's kind of like one-time expense, and I can keep them, I don't know, for 3-4 years, right? And then I can check that box on my rental listing where it says snow tires. I can check that box because that's what it is. It does not matter if they're winter tires or all-weather tires, as long as they have that snowflake emblem or it says M&S, mud and snow, you're good. You can go to BC. They're definitely much better on snow than my current Pirelli Scorpion Verde all season, but everybody knows they're pretty much 3 seasons. They're not designed for winter. So those are my plans for next week. So hopefully the Jeep Compass will be fixed at not too much of a price, because now I don't see a leak under the engine. All I have is the check engine light. So maybe I hope it's just something minor. And then, next week I'm definitely getting these all-weather 265/50 R20 tires for my Durango, and then I'm gonna go to a shop I know where they can take the existing tires off the rims, install new ones, balance them, and then I bring back these Pirellis back to my apartment and put them up for sale on Kijiji and Facebook Marketplace. So I'm tired of losing customers, over these non-winter tires. So thanks for watching.